They said a girl's voice didn't matter. They were wrong. On October 9th, 2012, a 15-year-old girl was targeted for one simple reason. Not because she carried a weapon, not because she committed a crime, but because she wanted to go to school. That was her offense. That was her rebellion. Many believed she wouldn't survive. Doctors prepared for the worst. Hospitals fell silent. Newsrooms waited. The world held its breath. But instead, she lived. She rose. And she refused to be silenced. This is the true story of Malala Yousafzai, the girl who proved that courage doesn't need permission, and that surviving was only the beginning of her fight. What she did next changed the world. Malala was born in 1997 in Mingora, Pakistan, a quiet valley surrounded by mountains. It was once a place of learning, community, and hope, where children walked to school without fear, where morning prayers echoed through neighborhoods, where dreams felt possible. Her home was modest. Her life was simple. But inside that home lived something powerful. Her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai, was a teacher, a man who believed education was freedom. He ran a small school and taught something radical for his time, that girls deserved the same education as boys. He didn't raise his daughter to shrink. He raised her to think. From an early age, Malala was surrounded by books, ideas, and questions. Dinner conversations weren't about gossip. They were about justice, learning, and possibility. While other children dreamed of toys, Malala dreamed of classrooms filled with girls, learning without fear, without limits. Her father once told her, "Don't clip your daughter's wings when she can fly," and Malala listened. Because even as a child, she understood a truth many never learn: education is power. But peace doesn't always last. Slowly, quietly, fear crept into her hometown. A violent extremist group took control of the region, and almost overnight, everything changed. Schools for girls were shut down. Teachers were threatened. Books disappeared from classrooms. What was once a right became forbidden. Girls were told to stay home, to stay quiet, to lower their dreams. Learning became dangerous. Malala was only 11 years old when she made a decision that would change her life and inspire the world. She refused to stay silent. In secret, she began to write. Using a fake name, she started blogging for BBC Urdu. Every night, she documented life under fear, the silence, the injustice, the pain of being told her future was no longer allowed. She didn't write with anger. She wrote with honesty. She wrote about wanting to learn, about missing school, about refusing to accept that education was not meant for her. Her words traveled far, from her hometown to classrooms, to newsrooms across the world. People began to listen, and that attention came with a price. Because when your voice grows louder, those who fear change grow desperate. Then came the day that changed everything. October 9th, 2012. It started like any other school day. Malala was riding home with her friends, laughing, talking, thinking about homework, a normal moment. Then the bus stopped. A man stepped forward and asked one question: "Who is Malala?" Moments later, she was critically injured. The bus fell silent. Her friends froze in shock, and the world held its breath. Doctors said her condition was extremely serious. Survival was uncertain. Millions waited, hoping for a miracle. And against every expectation, she survived. Days later, Malala opened her eyes in a hospital in London. Her body was weak, Her recovery would be long, but her spirit? Unshaken. The first thing she asked wasn't about fear. It wasn't about anger. It wasn't about revenge. She asked one simple question: will I be able to go to school again? That question echoed around the world, because it revealed who she truly was. Not a victim, not a symbol of tragedy, but a student who still believed in learning. Instead of hiding, she stood taller. Instead of retreating, she spoke louder. Standing before the United Nations, she said, "They thought the bullet would silence me, but it only made my voice stronger." The room stood. The world listened. In 2014, at just 17 years old, Malala became the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. But she didn't stop there. She chose purpose over comfort, action over applause. She founded the Malala Fund, helping girls around the world fight for their right to learn. From small villages to global stages, one voice proved it could make a difference. Malala's story teaches us something powerful. Courage has no age. Education is a form of resistance. And change begins with conviction. You don't need weapons to challenge injustice. You need belief, and the courage to speak when silence is easier. As Malala once said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." And she is living proof. If Malala's story inspired you, like this video and share it to remind the world that voices matter. Comment below, "It is not over until I win." And subscribe to OG Motivations, where we share real stories that remind you your voice matters, your dreams matter, and your courage can change the world.